1017 FM, 710 Keo, Mike and McCarty. Honored to have Council Member Ursula Bowman and her husband, former Council Chairman Jerry Bowman, joining us in studio this morning. First of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Pull it real close to you there. We want to be able to hear you.
Good morning.
Lots of folks listening to you guys today. Let's start with how you, Mr. Bowman, Jerry, you were called out a week or so ago, not by name specifically, but Mr. Green said
Other
that
council
previous
chairmen
chairmen have given raises without a vote of the council, inferring you had done it. You went before them at their special meeting and said it never happened.
Right, correct. I do.
And you stand by that.
I do to this day.
The memo they sent out yesterday or the day before that had your name on it saying, here's a pay raise for the city council staffers. We kind of found out that was done in budget time, correct?
Correct.
So it wasn't you just winging it.
That passed unanimously. With all 7 voted on it. Yes, ma'am.
How did they not go research that and find? I mean, I found it in like 7 minutes, Jerry.
Well, it didn't even take that long.
No, it didn't.
Well, I think they found it probably quicker than you did and just took the back sheet off and placed it out front.
Because the front sheet said initiated and approved by.
Right.
But that one line, and that's the only thing that they waived.
You could have worded that memo differently, I bet.
Yes.
Possibly would have done that differently.
Right.
They've apologized to you. You went up yesterday briefly. I found the apology from Reverend Green a little bit shallow. I don't know if you did too, but I was curious about how you felt hearing that from him yesterday.
I would have expected or thought that I probably would have got a phone call, not because I'm the great Jerry Bowman, but just because of the relationship that he stated we had. He could have called me ahead of time and told me, you know, how that happened and how it could have been misinterpreted, and it probably would have went by a little better. And that goes for Councilman Jackson also.
Mm-hmm. Ursula Bowman, you are going to be persona non grata now. You have stepped out and you have done wrong.
I'm fine with that. I've always been independent. I will always be independent and never intimidated easily.
How did this all get discovered? You know, little birds have told me how it really did happen. Do you know? Can you tell us?
I can tell you bits and pieces. I was actually out of town for 2 days. Got a phone call late when I was at the hotel and started hearing all of these different rumors. Didn't know if they were true. I always like to investigate my own investigation before I just put rumors out like they did with my husband.
Right.
So I called Councilman Green and explained to him what I had heard. And I asked him if it was true. And he said, yeah, I want to bless those women. I said, but you didn't have the right. It just was not in the charter. So we hung up. And so the next morning, I woke up bright and early Saturday morning. I called Councilwoman Taylor. She told me that James Green was the chairman. And if he said it, it's right. I called Councilman Jackson. He told me that he would discuss issues with the 3 of us, but he had to stay there between us. He wasn't discussing with the other council members.
Wow.
And he directly told me that if I didn't agree with him, he said they're going to need you to do a special vote on this. He said, just know we won't be voting with you on anything. And I said, you know what, Councilman Jackson? I said, that's the way y'all want to play games. I'm fine with it. I said, because the 3 of you will have more legislation than I'll ever have. And I thought we were friends opposed to colleagues. But when you show me who you are, I'm going to believe you. I came here to work for the city. Y'all came here to intimidate people. That don't work well with me.
When you came in the room this
Wow.
morning, before we started, I told you, I applaud you for your actions last week when you stood up for what you felt was right, even though it went against probably what others wanted you to do. And I commend you for that. And I commend you for coming into this room and talking with us this morning. I thank you for
thank
that.
you. I usually hide from the cameras and the radio just because that's not what I'm here for. I'm not grandstanding. I don't want to run for mayor. Don't know if I want to run for council again. I want to serve the people in my community. It's just hard when people play politics and they talk about the race game. It's black on black race every single day, but they don't talk about those issues. I mean, they talk about bullying in the school system. What about bullying on the horseshoe?
That to me yesterday was so embarrassing. To bring out this is an attack on black women, and you're sitting there as a freaking black woman.
Yes,
going, I'm here to do the right thing.
And Miss Erin, I'm from Lafayette, country girl, all black. You can hear the Creole accent. It's no secret. My husband get on me all the time for going outside with no shoes on. It's what I do.
You have shoes on today.
I have on shoes this morning. Yes,
Cringing over there.
yes. He's probably embarrassed.
That's all right. That's the best.
That's who I am. I have a relationship with all of those women in the council office. Every last one of them. I felt bad for them, but at the end of the day, it wasn't about them.
Thank you.
It was not about them. No one tried. I mean, I kept saying, let's move forward on Wednesday evening. But sometimes you have to deflect when you're wrong.
Who brought up the idea of let's give the council staff a pay raise? The year after, the whole city got a 13% increase. That looks, ooh, I'm not going to say the word.
Right. And I think from, I don't want to tank the investigation, to be honest with you, but one council member asked for a raise. One staffer asked for a raise. Two other staffers said, she's not getting a raise unless I get a raise.
Who did they ask for a raise from?
Chairman Green.
So when he got at his news conference a week or so ago and said nobody asked for a raise,
that was untrue. It was an untrue.
Honest to God, untrue.
Untrue.
So the staff members did ask for a raise.
One did, and then you had two other staff members that said, I need a raise also. And then our new Council of Affairs just had a verbal that he hadn't did one thing right since he's been there. Not one thing. And they were just trying to find out how could they fire this man. If it took 4 votes, if Green could fire him, if Miss Fleming could fire him.
He just got reprimanded?
Yes. And he got a $4,000 raise.
Y'all are going to make my head explode. Did you bring some medication with you?
I took mine before I came.
I didn't.
Can y'all stay with us?
We can.
Oh, I need Xanax or something, Ruben. What you got?
In studio with Councilmember Ursula Bowman and her husband, Jerry.